Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Jen and today we are talking all about thoracic mobility. So when we're talking about the thoracic spine, we're talking about vertebrae T1 to T12. So starting at the shoulder height and up to just below the ribs. And with thoracic mobility, there's a few problems. Not only does it cause a reduced range of motion through that mid-back section, but it also causes problems upstream and downstream from there. So it will start to affect in through the cervical spine, the neck, and the lumbar spine or the lower back. So with, we could see an increase in the rounding of the mid-back, so that kyphotic curve or the rounding, which could then also lead to a change in the natural arch in the cervical spine. So what we call a poke neck. So increase as that chin kind of points out, the upper back rounds, and we may even see an increase in our lordotic curve or extension through the lumbar spine, okay? So all of those things can cause further problems. It's kind of like a chain reaction. We compensate in other areas of our body because of that decreased mobility. So it'll affect upper limb movement, particularly shoulders, lower limb movement, obviously posture, and even breathing, okay? So this is something I'm currently working on as well. If you do struggle with mobility through the thoracic spine, or any mobility actually, we recommend doing mobility exercises every day or every second day. So we're going to touch on 8 different ones today. Pick and choose which ones feel best for you, or do all 8 in a series, okay? So the first one is just a simple cat-cow. This can be done standing, kneeling on your feet with your bum on your heels, or in a quadruped on all fours, okay? So in a quadruped on all fours, hands just underneath the shoulders, knees hip width apart, and you're going to draw the navel up and in, letting that back arch upwards like a cat. Exhale your air, letting arch down, lifting the tailbone up, and tilting the head slightly. Again, drawing in, having a natural breath in and out, and repeating. Starting with about 12. The next one that we're going to do is a kneeling thoracic extension stretch. So this one you can just do, it can be as simple as a child's pose, having the arms out in front, and focusing on letting you arch down in that mid-back section. So pushing your mid-back down towards the floor. You could also do this with hands raised up on a ball or a bench. For ease, I'm just going to demonstrate on this roller. So knees away, bum down, and again, letting yourself fall in between those arms, letting the mid-back arch down. Trying to minimize the arching through your lumbar spine and have more of the movement through your mid-back, okay? Holding that for about 30 seconds, repeating 2 to 3 times. The third exercise is what we call a thread the needle. So again, this can be done in a quadruped position. Starting on all fours, one hand is going to stay as your support arm. Make sure your abdominals are contracted and pulled in. You're going to take your right hand, thread it through the middle of your support arm, letting that shoulder drop down towards the floor, and lifting back up. Now you can keep it there, or you could turn it into an additional thoracic rotation, either arm up or elbow up, okay? So repeating on that same side, and then switching to the other side. Again, start with 12 repetitions if you can. Less than that is totally okay, and you just progress forward, okay? You can also do that same movement, keeping your bum onto your heels and going through a bit of a smaller range of motion. Again, having the bum down is going to focus more on controlling, minimizing the movement through the pelvis and having more of the mobility through the thoracic spine. The next one is our sideline thoracic rotation. So taking either a yoga mat rolled up or a rolled up towel or a pillow or a block, you're going to lay down onto your side. Your top leg is going to come to about 90 degrees at the hip and the knee, resting on the foam roller. You're going to stack your shoulders on top of each other and either rotating that arm up and over, fully to the side, or just completely straight up and open. Again, having the leg fixed on something is going to minimize your rotation through the hips and let you focus on that mid-spine. If you can't get all the way to the floor, that's okay. You could even put a block or a pillow back there as your starting point and go from there, okay? Again, 10 to 12 reps to start with on each side and progress. Our fifth one is going to be a kneeling lunge with the wall rotation. So grabbing something to place between your knee and the wall. It could be a soccer ball, it could be one of your child's balls, it could be a pillow, a rolled up towel, or something like a yoga block. You're going to take a lunge position. With the leg closest to the wall is going to be your forward lunge. And then you're going to place the ball or pillow or block between your knee and the wall. Again, this is going to help stabilize, reduce the movement through the pelvis and the hips rotating, and focus on that mid-back rotation. So starting with your hand at shoulder height, we're going to rotate up in a circle, around following your gaze to the hand, and back. You can also take this with hands to the ears, rotating your elbow up and over and back, opening at the end. Okay? Nice and controlled, slow movements, breathing throughout the entire range. Okay. Moving on, we're going to do a prone rotation, or also known as a scorpion tail. So lying flat on your floor or mat, starting with your hands kind of just above your shoulders. You're going to bring, let's say starting on your right side, slide that right hand down towards your shoulder level, opening to the side, bringing that leg up and over, rotation through the hip and the mid-back. Switching to the other side. You're going to feel a stretch likely through the pecs and front of the shoulder as well. If you're anything like me, through the hip flexor and through the mid-back. Okay, nice and controlled. Ten to 12 on each side. Okay. Next one, we're going to take a foam roller, laying it down onto the floor. This time we're going to be facing up or supine, placing that foam roller underneath your shoulder blades. Okay. Feet are going to stay flat on the floor to help stabilize again through the pelvis. Taking your arms to your ears to start with. And we're just going to gently roll back and over that foam roller. Trying to minimize the arch through the lumbar spine and focus more on the mobility through the mid-back. Now, if the foam roller is a bit aggressive for you, take a rolled up towel or a rolled up yoga mat, which is a little bit softer, and you'll see that I get a little bit more closer to the ground. Like I said, I do struggle with my thoracic mobility, so this is a better starting point for me. And just holding, coming up and going back into the movement. Pulling my abdominals in to help control the lordotic curve. Okay. And the last one that I'm going to show you today, it's more of an active movement. So rather than a passive stretch or kind of going through a range of motion, this one you're going to find that you're going to have to work a little bit. So it's either going to be a prone angel or a wall angel. So the wall angel, bring your bum closer to the wall, your feet and your knees out in front of you. I know a lot of times we do these standing, but sitting allows you to control that lower back a little bit more and focus on movement through the mid. So your elbows and your hands are going to come to the wall, and you're going to go through whatever range of motion that you have. Mine is pretty limited. Some people might get closer to the top. Start wherever you are. Don't judge yourself and focus on progressing. Okay? That's the wall angel, or you could do the prone floor angel or cactus arms. So you can go up into a little bit of a back extension and then focus on taking those arms actively through, forward, and squeeze. Trying to keep neck neutral. You can also take this down and just slide along the floor, focusing again on range of motion. That's all I have for you today. I hope you give those a try and slowly work on increasing your mobility through your thoracic spine. Until next time.